Hello, hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Natural20, and I am sat alongside the one, the only, your friend and mine, Yorkshire Tea.
Every time he says that, I can't tell if you're being at all serious.
I am hyping you up, my friend, as the colorist of commentators.
What?
You're the color commentator, right?
The colour commentator?
Yeah, because clearly I'm doing the play-by-play, because I'm literally doing the plays.
Yeah.
And therefore you must be the color commentator.
I've never heard that phrase. A colour
A color commentator?
Colour coordinator. Colour commentator.
How long have you watched professional wrestling and just not known what a color commentator is?
I thought you just had, like, the straight man, the dick, and, the grizzled old professional.
Yeah, so you know
The straight man and the and the dick, they bicker all the time.
Yeah.
And the grizzled old professional is the one who can be relied upon to to just commentate and provide accurate what's going on reportage.
Okay. Before commentary in wrestling got terrible and they started having 3 people all the time.
Okay.
There were traditionally 2 people doing commentary, right?
Right.
The first is a person doing the play-by-play commentary, right?
Yeah.
So they go, this person hit this other person with a move, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're in a traditional sport, this person did this thing on a play, right?
Yeah.
And they are typically a person who didn't play the sport themselves and just watched a lot of the sport, right?
Okay.
The color commentator is then typically a player of the sport, right?
Yes.
Or in this case, a wrestler, right?
Okay.
Who will then commentate on, oh, this is what this athlete must be thinking right now, this is how they feel right now, based on the experience that I have, right?
Okay.
And so that's the core of a commentary team.
Okay, so what you're saying is I have to put a bit more jazz, a bit more flair, a bit more excitement.
All I'm saying is that you would effectively
You
be
join us on the washed-out plains and sepia-tinged forests and canyons of this godforsaken, hellish, and probably inevitably doomed world.
And we're in front of a save point here that we still haven't figured out how to use.
Where this
Oh, I got it! I figured it out! Good job, me. I was like, what if I press R2? And then it turns out it works.
What, R2 as in to kneel?
Yes. As in the kneel button.
As in kneeling before a save point?
Yeah, that's how the save points work.
Kneeling before...
Agro, where the hell have you gone?
Consulting with the secret council of
Oh, there he
Colossus.
is. Hello. Okay, so shall we get to work?
Everything's proceeding naturally.
I mount horses so well.
My rider suspects nothing.
Let's get to work.
So we made the uncomfortable observation just before this, we began recording, that when the dude jumps...
We called him Randy, right?
Randy, yes. When he jumps in a very floaty manner, which is... Well, Nat says it's very similar to Aladdin from the SNES Aladdin. I say he's jumping like the Prince of Persia.
Maybe he is the Prince of Persia.
Saying that Shenanigans the Colossus is Prince of Persia in an alternate universe.
Oh, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? He never found the sands of time, and so he wanders away to save the girl who died because he never found the sands of time.
I mean, I say this as somebody who only ever played, like, the very first Prince of Persia back
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm kind of aware of the plot.
Oh, look at that. Look, just... Sorry. I know I've probably said this before, but just look at those waterfalls. Look at that water.
Oh, it's so good,
Just stop and just admire those waterfalls.
Okay, I'm riding out to them right now.
Good. Gosh, I mean, just that is.
It's pretty great, isn't it? This is a very good game.
And look at that. Just you've got the water lines, around some of the rocks. But then again, you've got water lines. You can see there are just sort of maybe, bits of hidden shoals and rocks just beneath the surface. Which the water is flowing around.
And you've got the mist coming up then from where the waterfalls are at the end.
The basin.
Exactly, right? Look at that.
It'd be established that forest that we were in looking for the Loch Ness Colossus. We didn't actually even have to go in that forest.
No. So
Or did we?
it's the thread have been talking about this, and they say that that's like an intentional diversion. The thing, what takes you to that forest,
Yeah.
even though you don't need to go there, because it is a pretty thing to look at.
I can definitely picture some guy being like, okay, right, you know what, I've crafted this entire area. Can't figure out a way, given the geometry and geography, to sort of actually fit it into a level. You know what, guys, can you just sort of place the Colossus roughly in this direction so they go here first? I can definitely see them doing that.
And team's just like, yeah, sure, why not? Seems cool.
So just a quick recap, we're looking for a giant who has fallen into the valley.
Yes.
It's a I've fallen and I can't get up giant. So this is...
Oh, so this is back in the forest, right?
Yeah. The forest we don't need to go to, but it's just so pretty.
Well, we're gonna go in because, well, I don't have any light anymore, but I might in a second.
I remember thinking that this is, like when I first saw the trailers for Twilight Princess a long, long time ago, that this is what it was going to look like.
It did not.
No, it didn't.
They just turned up the bloom.
Look, we had to make these mistakes. Look, you have to make mistakes so that you can learn from them. See? Classic Prince of Persia, it's the floaty flailing. So that's probably one of the things which bugs me the most about Shadow of the Colossus, is the extreme floatiness of this guy's jumping.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I think it's good as a gameplay conceit, but...
Well, I mean, is even that necessary? I mean, it's not like jumping is a particularly big part of... Well...
Jumping is a huge part of this game.
On Colossi, but given how much the game kind of presents us sort of like a fairly realistic approach to sort of other things about the character. But actually, this is something that people on the thread have been mentioning, and you know, these aren't necessarily spoilers. It's more just comments on the game design. That I suppose, in essence, Shadow of the Colossus is. I suppose you could describe it as an attempt to see how much of a story can you convey about the world and the characters in it, with virtually no dialogue whatsoever. Like, what is the bare minimum of dialogue you need, in a game like this?
The answer is, you don't need very, very much.
No.
Right?
So people were pointing out that, and we'll probably see this, and it'll probably be easy to see this when Brandy's dismounted his horse. The way that he holds onto his scabbard, like, almost like he's not very comfortable with it. Or like he's not very used to wielding a sword or wearing a scabbard. Like he hasn't quite worked out how to run all the time without it, banging into his shins. Kind of implies that, okay, maybe he's not very good at, wielding the sword. And actually some of his sword strikes and sword swipes and, thrusts, they do look kind of a bit clumsy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Whereas, if you bring out the bow, I mean, that is just a crude. That is a crude swipe. Whereas, you look at this, all his animations using the bow, and I suppose you could also make the argument the strength and the ease with which he fires the bow, the distance that he manages to fire the bow with.
Yeah.
You could argue that he is clearly much, much, much more used to hunting or fighting with a bow than he is with a sword.
It's very interesting.
Which is just, I thought that was just that's a really. What inferences you can make from that, I don't know, because apparently, nothing's ever really confirmed or denied. It's not like there was a great big, extra sort of information booklet providing background on the world.
Yeah,
I think the only sort of kind of little sort of snippet that they ever divulged was that I think didn't they say that this was a prequel to Eco?
Yeah, I think so.
And like clearly, obviously, like it. I mean, personally, to me, I'd be very surprised if it didn't take place in the same world as Eco. But this being a prequel rather than a sequel, as you might think.
Yep. I'm very aware, by the way, that we're going the same way we did to one of the other Colossi, but I also think this is probably the correct way from what the sword is telling me.
I mean,
I don't know, but had to guess.
then again, I mean, if we're looking at the subtle tells in his animations, and I really do like the fact that he swims faster without the sword in his hand than with the sword in his hand. I think we're going to have to pay closer attention to how he mounts aggro.
Well, he does it in a hilarious way if I do it incorrectly.
Exactly. Whereas, I mean, given the bond which he seems to have with aggro, and he seems to be a fairly competent rider, why does he sometimes behave like he's maybe he's only had aggro for a relatively small time, or at least he's used to riding, or maybe is it that he's competent at riding? Maybe he's experienced at riding, but he hasn't had aggro for a while, or he's had aggro for longer. He's had aggro for a while and doesn't.
It's not joshing me.
Maybe aggro is his first horse. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not going crazy. It's saying go to the bottom of this, right?
I mean, okay, let's bring up the map.
Well, this is exactly where we fought the previous Colossus.
Okay, but yes,
right?
but let's just bring up the map. I mean, you could also argue that we've got to go back to where the cat place was and check out that canyon that we never really bothered to look at.
Maybe.
I mean, unless you're expecting like a secret underwater tunnel.
I don't really know. I'm just going to go in this direction until the sword stops telling me to do that.
Until you come up against a wall.
Yeah, maybe.
The Colossus is the wall. The Colossus is the entire valley.
It's telling me to go that way.
Yeah, but couldn't it also no? Well, no. It's not. No, it's not telling you to go that way. It is saying that the next Colossus is in that direction.
Though I will believe what the sword tells me until otherwise. Hold on. Okay, maybe the sword lied to me. I feel like there's something going on here, I don't know why.
Well, because bubbles emerging from vents.
Yeah. Could easily be wrong though.
This is not a game that. This does not strike me as a game with secret underground tunnels. Go back up to the cat and
Yeah,
go
I
round.
think
You just wanted to come here again and just admire the scenery, didn't you?
I mean, there is like a dead Colossus now, forming an island where there wasn't one before. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if we go back to. I wonder if with some of the larger colossi, I wonder if we go back to where we fought them, they've just got, you know, their corpses.
Well, I mean, like, presumably they do, given that this one does, you know?
But this one was an especially big one.
Yeah, this one was a huge Colossus, Jesus. I enjoyed riding around on its head. I wish I could have kept it alive to be my mount.
I don't know. The whole, like, teeth thing that it had on its head was a bit... Like, was it, like... I mean, was that the top of its head we were riding around on, or was it, like, you know, the top of its head had fallen off and we were, you know, just, like, the lower half of its jaw remained or something?
Oh, maybe. Oof, that's not as pleasant to think about. Interesting that trees are growing on it so quickly, though. I don't recall it having trees on it.
Definitely some kind of accelerated time shenanigans going on.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Accelerated growth.
Well, because maybe the fur on it's like grass that grows off of the Colossus.
Accelerated growth hormones in plants. Okay, calling it now. At the very, very end of the game, if we, like, you know, unlocked, like, all the secrets and killed all the lizards or whatever, you know, it'll pan out to show, like, some kind of... It was all in a giant space laboratory!
No, I don't think so.
I think more games should end with that.
I don't think they should.
Donkey Kong 64 pans out. It's a giant space laboratory.
Okay, that will probably be fair, though, but that's because Donkey Kong 64
Earthbound,
is insane.
giants, space laboratory. Silent Hill! Actually, wait a minute, I suppose there are UFOs in there.
Silent Hill is a very strange game.
I mean, you say that. I mean, you've only ever persisted for about 10 minutes in a Silent Hill game, haven't you?
I watched you guys play like the first 3 or 4 hours of Silent Hill 3. I think. I am a fan of the designers recognizing that some idiots might come down this way again.
You know, just sightseers.
Well, that was a fun trip.
I wonder if this is the sort of game which pays, where the designers paid enough attention to make sure that they got, you know, the right kind of stone. Because I mean, a lot of this sort of seems like fairly, like, you know, sedimentary rock. Like, kind of feels like there's a lot of, you know, slate, sandstone.
Why is that important?
I don't know. I'm just wondering if it's, you know, sort of, you know, is this a volcanic? You know, is this a volcanic region?
It doesn't look to be a volcanic region.
Oh.
Apart from the vents, but, you know...
Yes, vents don't necessarily imply volcanic, though. You can have geologically active... I suppose it is more common to have volcanoes.
What was the other type? Metamorphic rock, right?
Yes.
That's the cool type of rock.
Igneous.
So there's igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. And metamorphic is the cool rock. Because it's the mutant rock.
It's the one which is like, you know, marble and all that. Coolest of rock.
Oh, I mean, that rock does make a zone, you know? Where even are we now?
We're just on a pretty little outcrop. Yeah, I can have a picnic here. Oh, wait a minute, look at that.
What?
Just look at that. That tree. Just look at that branch. That branch looks very, very neatly sliced off.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That looks almost like it's been sawn off. Question is...
By who?
By whom? I smell shenanigans. And clearly, it can't have been... Clearly, it was not recent. It was not recent enough. Otherwise, implies the inside of the branch would be lighter. Clearly, it isn't too old, otherwise it would have healed over more. So we do know that there are people have other people. That really was a sawn-off branch. It implies that this area isn't quite as abandoned and perhaps unfrequented as first impressions might have given.
Oh, I understand what this forest does now. Sorry. I was paying attention to what you were saying, it's more I also realised that the forest itself is a tunnel. Which is pretty cool. Okay, so this was clearly the wrong way then.
But we got to see our favourite forest.
Yeah, we did. And we got to see the remains of a dead Colossus.
Perhaps that's what we should do at the very end. You know, we should just go around.
Do a world tour of dead Colossi.
Yeah, it could be entitled, like, you know, what I killed on my holidays.
So we know it's a right turn somewhere around here, isn't it?
I think we just keep going around here. Good. The old suddenly desert biome.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, isn't it?
It's very, very. I can see where Nier got a lot of its aesthetics from. I think you could be forgiven for thinking that it's made by the same people. You know how suddenly, you know, you're going through a fairly, you know, nice and grassy area, and then there's a desert. Like, just a huge desert, like, out of nowhere, right next to a giant forest.
That's true.
And they do that in not just one, but 2 games. Actually, no, wait a minute, isn't it like 3 games as well? Aha! Here we go.
Should have known.
We still haven't quite worked out, you know, what is the point of all these Colossi? What do they do?
Yeah, like...
Some of them are clearly kind of like temple guards. Some of them seem to be located in places where it just wouldn't really make sense. Like, the horse protecting the graves, I can see that. That is, you know, clearly like, you know, trying to preserve, you know, those who might otherwise come to rob the graves. And though, having said that, was it ever actually explicitly stated that it was a grave site? I'm pretty sure it was.
It felt like a grave site.
Standard, you know, Saxon barrows and mounds. Chock full of whites, no doubt. Whites and wraiths. I don't think this is a door.
No, I...
Yeah, look at this. This guy definitely does not know how to use a sword.
Okay. I don't know if this is going to be the right thing to do, but I'm going to try it anyway.
You're going to run straight to the wall, do a triple backflip. Oh, no, 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 no!
I can't get high enough.
Even Aggro thinks this is a stupid idea.
I thought that was the way in, to be fair, but...
Aggro's like... snort of derision at how undignified that was.
I've taken jumps like that in the past. How the hell do we get in? Oh, there's a door. That makes sense.
Was it just me or was Aggro fighting that lizard?
If Aggro is fighting a lizard, I trust Aggro's ability to defeat the lizard.
I think I trust Aggro more to do anything than just Randy.
Randy, oh.
You know what, this has inspired me to actually go back and complete The Last Guardian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Well, I mean, I've just started again, just because I thought it's probably probably the sort of thing you want to play in a fairly unbroken experience, rather.
Yeah, that's fair.
And to be honest, I mean, most of the time, my impression is basically just this is just beautiful, and I love the way that sunlight plays on the surface of the water, and how Trico basically just keeps on ignoring you. Because he's an animal, and animals don't occasionally. I mean, my dogs. I mean, they don't listen to me all the time. Okay, right, here we go.
Yeah, this looks like the right place.
This looks like a boss arena. Whoa. Can we just wait a minute? Just. This feels pretty weird. Is this like the entrance to a city, or is this like? I mean, I think you'd be forgiven for thinking that was like a I don't know, almost like some sort of ceremonial ball ground. Ball game ground.
Oh no. Okay.
Help me. Wow. This guy is pissed.
This seems much more...
Actually, no.